Alright, so here we have a 1991 double wide, and it's beautiful. Except for this area right here, which the damage was caused from this window. I had a tenant in here, and I don't know if it was a window problem, AC was leaking, whatnot, but you can see the stain is all the way out here, you know, and then it was about to here, but I took out a little bit more because double wides are also known for the polybutylene pipe going bad and leaking. This has been 30 years and I haven't had one problem with the fittings leaking. Nothing. Works beautiful. And here's a variety of pieces I took out. The particle board. It's nice and thick. Look at the thickness. That's beautiful. But once it gets wet, right? What good is that? Who in their right mind would put that on the floor? The base, the foundation that everything else sets on, including the bearing walls. Maybe the codes back then allowed it. I sure wish they didn't, because I wouldn't be doing this right now. I mean, had that been plywood or OSB board, yeah, they do eventually rot out. But this can go from brand new state, get it wet, and you got that. That's just ridiculous. On the other side of the coin, this home is 30 years old. As long as you keep your floors dry and never have a leak, all the other floors are in great shape. But common sense, you got kids that take baths and whatnot. They're not worried about the floor. You got kitchen areas. Laundry is a wet area. They should have put plywood or something better than this. I sound a little upset. So if you're thinking about buying a double wide, find out what's in the floor and find out what type of windows you have. If you shut the inside window and leave the outside open, it's a water trap. You see it? The water will just lay, as you can see, it's rotted out. There's a hole right there. Completely ridiculous. Now, I would, you know, if it had this type windows in it, I'd still buy the double wide. But the flooring, oh my God, that's a whole nother animal. Let me show you what I mean about the window leaking water. You have a window here in the back and then one in the front. They're like storm windows. But think about it. If you got the front window closed and leave the back one open, all the water just runs right in here and you can see it's rotted. So if you have a double wide with this type window, always shut the outer window and you're good. Also ask and make sure, or have your inspector tell you what type of plumbing's in there. If you got the poly B, walk away or have it changed. Most insurance companies will not cover a double wide with poly B. Yeah, there's a lot of material that is cheap in a double wide, but you get what you pay for. Look at those cabinets, man. They're bowing down. But see, you can easily replace that kitchen. But the floor that it sits on, oh, that's a whole nother animal. So yeah, here's just a few tips what to look for when you're searching for a double wide. I could easily do an entire video of the pros and cons of a double wide, which would really be a useful buying guide, but you know, I don't know if I want to put myself through all that anguish. Another thing I'd like to say about the poly B plumbing, Like I said earlier, it's been 30 years and I haven't had a single leak, which means this is a good time to change it because I got the floor open. I can shove pipes that way, and both bathrooms at the toilet area. There's another vulnerable. It's another high-risk floor problem area. Vulnerability. Vulnerable? Right. And so, hey, you got access here. You got access in a bath that direction. And one that direction. And my kitchen's right next door to this. And I got the hot water heater and the washroom. But you could say, well, you could do all that from underneath. In this case, I had put a concrete foundation underneath here. And there's only 2.5 blocks. So 2.5 blocks, a block is 8 inch, 16 inches plus 4. I'm telling you, man, it is brutal trying to crawl. You got to crawl around like an army man. Oh, wow, look at this. I just mentioned it was 2.5 blocks high. And as you can see, it's only 2 blocks. And then there's the beam. Let me get some light on that. And there's a shim. And then we got the concrete floor. Solid concrete. I'm just going to drop the camera down there and see what it reveals. Look around a little bit. Okay, I'm going to jump in the hole. Oh my God, I'm disappearing. Oh, that's it, that's all I can do. I'm stuck. See, you got your block there, and then a cross member there, and then the piping over here. It's like you got to slide under, put your leg straight out, and kind of lay down before you can get under there. I thought this was going to be a great access hole. I thought wrong. I'd like to thank everyone for listening to my little rant about double wides, and good luck to you out there in your search.